I just need to unmute the stream. That's what I was going to do. I was like, why am I moving my mouse? And I was like, wait a second. I know why I'm moving my mouse. Top left is iAsonu, our blue Zerg player. We took down solo yesterday. Pretty big deal. And to the bottom right-hand side, our red Terran is SpeCial. It's lagging. It's probably only lagging really when it's when I'm messing around and changing things before the stream starts. Once we're in game and I'm not clicking on anything, it seems to get better, guys. So at least from what I've seen so far. I hope so, anyways. Alright, so I mean, we saw iAsonu against Innovation. This is the third place match. I mean, it's never fun to play a third place match because obviously you just lost out and you missed out on the finals. But obviously still quite a bit of money in play here. So for both these players, it's going to be kind of an important match. It's like a $1,000 difference, I believe. This is going to be another best of 5. The finals will be best of 7 though, guys. So we've got another best of 5 here now between iAsonu and SpeCial. Then we've got a best of 7 coming up between Innovation and Scarlet. So that's what's going on. But yeah, a series here, which obviously means a lot money-wise, so definitely one players will take seriously. We saw again iAsonu played some very aggressive builds earlier today against Innovation. Very intrigued to see if we see more of that this time around. Interesting, iAsonu didn't veto Kairos Junction against Innovation like he vetoed here against SpeCial. He used that map to all in on, and it was the one map he won, so he vetoes that map now against SpeCial. Intrigued to see what iAsonu does, because that's already a very fast second gas, for example, right? And unless that's some kind of an extractor trick, this is going to be a big commitment into something. There is the Roach Roar dropping down. So already looking to open with an all-in here in this series. Now, this Reaper will be looking for information along that line. So far, not much to be gained. We'll see, you know, Queen being built, Lings at the front. We'll see another drone finishing as well, perhaps, which could be a bit of a, you know, a lie as to what is actually going on here.
Going to go for that Crypt Tumor. That's really nice. Pops the Queen back, gets the Crypt Tumor. That's 25 energy down the drain. Reaper just going to sit back a little bit, regen some health, and again, really is going to be the lookout for those roaches. And this is why we had a question earlier, why do you have to open Reaper in TvZ? This is exactly why, because otherwise you really do just get into a ton of trouble, and it's really, really tough. As the Reaper comes over to the left, 5 roaches on the way out. Link speed going to complete as well in the next few moments. That's all coming through here. Starport Tech Lab coming up. Also a couple more Hellions on the way out. A couple more SCVs. And the Viking coming up in the main base. Now a Marauder going to start on that Tech Lab rack. So it's coming through as well. These roaches continue to press through the center of the map. Two Ravagers starting to morph in. There's 2 Ravagers coming in at the moment, and again the couple of Hellions and the Reaper having a pretty good time over on this side. And now they're going to have to deal with these roaches, so it's going to be a bit tough, but that's why he was building Marauders, because he kind of knew this was on its way, although he didn't build a bunker at all. It's kind of interesting. I'm just going to start pushing up this ramp. Hellions already taking quite a few hits. Marauder not really getting damage onto roaches just yet because he was kind of focusing on Zerglings because they were just in the front. And it's happening again, so actually a little bit of a shame so far. As 10 SCVs down. Now Innovation has lifted the depot as well, by the way. That Ravager finishes actually will mean it will go down, I think, to those Hellions. Marauder helping out quite a bit here, and it looks as though... Wow, that was a hell of a corrosive bile. Looks as though iAsonu might actually just about make this work. The aggressive attack is going to be almost enough just at the moment. Problem is his reinforcements are mostly going to be Lings. Oh my god, SpeCial lowered the depot. Or was it just never raised? Well, either way, that's obviously not great. More SCVs dropping. SpeCial is down to 7, 6 workers, 4. And he's just going to GG out. iAsonu going to pick up the aggressive game number 1. Hopefully the game sound should be a little louder for you guys.
let me know. iAsonu. Maybe a crowd favorite here in this third place match, as we have SpeCial on the bottom left hand side, the red Terran. Okay, so second map kicking off in a moment or two. Waiting to see exactly how this is going to go. SpeCial and new repugnancy. Ah, this is new repugnancy. I mean, I really never remember what new repugnancy is in the Chinese characters. What was the joke? I don't know. The Chinese commentators are really funny. You guys never laugh at my jokes. God damn it, Twitch chat. If you guys laughed at my jokes, I'd be bigger than SpeCial. Maybe. Probably not. They do keep laughing. I make you guys laugh. I don't know how to make you guys laugh. Like, I don't have anything funny to say. It's a StarCraft. It's a very serious game with very serious business. Do a joke. You can't just do it. Stop putting so much pressure on me. I don't have any good jokes. I really don't. I laughed at your joke. Now I didn't make a joke. Oh, you guys just getting behind me? Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Jesus, I appreciate it. Alright. As Overlord sets up, gets this ready to go. Joke or riot? I can't make jokes under pressure. I can't think of any good ones. Couple links pop out. I'm gonna go and start nibbling away on those couple of rocks here already. With a little bit of damage onto those lings. Queen pops out, and there's gonna be a little bit of a deflection for that Reaper. So Reaper taking a few hits here already. Let's continue to go a little bit crazy on a couple of rocks, etc. so far. Nothing too ridiculous at the start of this one though, and obviously no second gas early on. Not going to be seeing any Rotron early on. The crowd is laughing again. Maybe they're just laughing at my lack of ability to be funny. The Chinese cast is like, by the way, our production team's tuned into the English stream right now, and it's so boring. He hasn't even told a joke in the first 3 minutes of the game. The Chinese guy's like, God, glad we don't have to watch that nonsense. Ay, ay, ay. Double Hellions going to be pushing through into the natural. So looking for a little bit more damage. A couple of drones will go down. Meanwhile, the Reaper is scouting the main. So it's really SpeCial being very aggressive because he wants to try and find out what's going on. There is now a Rotron on the way up in the natural. But it's not like a super aggressive Rotron, right? I mean, it's more like a I'm preparing in case you throw 5 Hellbats at me Rotron. So iAsonu just setting up. He is making a few overlords. Maybe he will make quite a few roaches here, like 8 roaches into speedlings. But will he really use those aggressively? I'm not convinced. Second Banshee gonna start. Lair on the way up here from iAsonu. Just getting started right now. He's going to be able to pick off that SCV as... it does just feel like drones on the way. He's just setting up yours to make sure you can defend here initially. The first Banshee going to head towards the third base. Detection is being established with the Spore Crawlers now building, but... well, as Cloak finishes, there's definitely some possibility here. We'll cloak up, and... I kind of like this from iAsonu. It kind of just throws a couple of roaches forwards towards this Banshee. And that just buys them extra time for the Spore Crawlers to finish and really minimizes any losses here on the drones. Good catch from iAsonu! Oh, that's a real good catch. That's a real good defensive moment. Very nicely done. Okay, well, now as SpeCial goes into bio here, iAsonu's doing a pretty good job of shutting down a lot of this initial aggression. Banshee's still picking up some creep tumors at the moment. Two more engineering bays on the way down in the back of that natural. Back still coming up, and a couple of Marines going after the Overseer. A little bit of back and forth at the moment as... Yeah, nice. Only picking off those Hellions, shutting down the Banshees without taking any damage. It's like a different player compared to what we saw with Innovation playing against him, right? Innovation was a lot stronger in the early game, getting a lot of harassment damage and so on. And that does worry me a little bit because when iAsonu did get into the later game, he made some things happen. He had some good moments against Innovation. I don't know what they're telling this audience, but they are just laughing all the time. The Chinese classes must be hilarious. You just don't stop. Alright, well, Banshees are at least doing a good job denying this creep spread. The less creep spread there is on the map, the less there is for iAsonu to be able to control, and the more chance that SpeCial has successful pushes with +1/+1, +2/+2 later in the game. It's a constant fight against that creep spread, and SpeCial is putting up a good fight against it at the moment as Banshee's turned away again now. Banshees are nice to keep alive. They're very good defensively too, of course, so very nice to keep up and running in that regard. Easy, and a little bit of bio, getting rid of a couple creep tumors here. Medevac's going to load up, come over to the top side. Ling is over on the left. I'm going to see that spire about halfway done. Again, just dropping the main base could be a problem for iAsonu here, who has a roach or two on the way over. You just relocate that spore, but it's going to get targeted down, so the Medivacs can stick around without any concerns. Now there's no spore in the main base. If the Banshees made it back here, that'd be actually a really cool place to get the Banshees. We see also Marines stimming up into this base as well. iAsonu's starting to fall apart. I mean, where's his army? He's got 60 army supply. I just don't see it being used. Okay, there's a lot of roaches in this main base dealing with this drop now. There's the Ling's running over here. He's going to clean out those Lings. More roaches going to be a real problem to keep cleaning up. SpeCial doing a great job, just considering he's got only 2 Medivacs of units here. He's really getting a lot done out of this, as you see now the last few roaches over here will be able to push this back. For a moment I thought SpeCial might have lifted up those units and gone to the main while he was also dropping the natural, but he's actually back in the main with the units from the natural expansion. So again, just some good kind of rotation of drops here. Now he's using this drop to clean out creep in the middle, so he's really pulling iAsonu around. Now that will stop in a moment. The Medivacs are now under attack from the Mutalisks, so those Mutas will start cleaning up. However, SpeCial's already dealt a bit of damage here, and he's now going to have a follow-up push. Obviously, Mutalisks are not the best at dealing with this follow-up push, so maybe that's going to be troubling as well. No, SpeCial! Oh my god! He just ran into the Banelings as they finished morphing. That's so painful. Oh my god, SpeCial just had a huge opportunity. All he had to do was try and attack move a few more of those Banelings. And he didn't do it. Like, if he cancels like 3 or 4 more, there's only going to be 5 Banelings. And if there's only 5 Banes, his army's going to crush. But his tanks were in siege, he was caught off guard in the end. Now iAsonu coming through the middle of the map is going to just take this fight. Siege tanks on the top side and doing a lot. And I think that is a hold from SpeCial off creep. It's not really the fight iAsonu wanted to take. I think he thought he was further ahead than he is. Man, SpeCial, that was a lot of units lost that were not really meant to be lost there. You see these Mutalisks coming in, Refinery taking some damage. SpeCial is going to get some tanks sieged up here. Those Banes are going to be in some trouble now. This time Banelings will be cancelled properly. He's not going to go running into those. That was a horrible move command just before. You really can't exaggerate that enough. Mutas are coming in from the back to try and hit those tanks, but there is Marines nearby to defend that. As we are going to see SpeCial continue to reinforce this position. And this is tough for iAsonu because he's going to lose a lot trying to break through this position. Widow Mines not burrowed just yet, so they will be blown up by Banelings. Wow, good breakout by iAsonu just before reinforcements were there. It was the perfect timing. And SpeCial was at his weakest with that current wave of units. Well, now actually once again iAsonu is going to go chase, and he gets a couple of medevacts with the mutas, but he's a lot more careful when it comes to continuing to press forwards this time. And he doesn't throw away a lot of additional units. He really does stay a bit safer and a bit more careful. So Ferminator, thank you for the 23 months of resubscribing. Hope you're having a good time, Korea. Thank you so much. It's been fun so far. Appreciate the resub for almost 2 years. Appreciate it. We're going to get rid of that medevac on the bottom side. A set of Widow Mines in the medevac as well. There's a few more banelings, 11 more banelings on the way up. Yeah, and the 4 Widow Mines just coming along over to the right side. Creep spreading out. Again, just the set of Widow Mines going to be going boosting up through the third base in the next few moments. So, going to start unloading. Oh, the drones are not pulling away. We're drilling close these Widow Mines burrows so quickly. 13 drones go down. Well, that drop gets picked off by iAsonu though, so that's a good shutdown at least. SpeCial is up by a bunch of workers at this point, so that should start to transition into an army at some stage. The issue for iAsonu is because he was a bit behind and he managed to just about claw it back, the problem for him now is he doesn't have a hive setup, right? And without a hive setup, he can't get free. He doesn't really have a transition off of Ling Bay Muta, and so he's very much so stuck in a very mid-game position while SpeCial gets free upgrades, and the longer he's stuck in a mid-game position, he's actually kind of happy. So actually, SpeCial's kind of doing just fine in this game, because again, what is iAsonu going to do? Well, now there's the hive on the way, but it's going to take a while before we see anything. I mean, until the 15-minute marker at least, before we see anything come through off that hive. So a lot of time for SpeCial to get something done, as SCVs will fail to repair that turret. What's up, WikiLeaks83? Thank you for the 10-month resub. These meters flying in, getting rid of a few Marines to begin with. More Marines now on the bottom right-hand side as well, hitting this hatchery. 4 pops out is going to be able to turn Mutalisks away. Now, those meters are going to be turned about way now. 26 more Lings on the way through, plus 1 missile flyer attacks as well. Nice catch on the banelings. The SCVs and the missile turrets at least denied. iAsonu maxes out. But again, he's fighting against a maxed out free, soon to be free Terran player. And his hive is only just now finished. And of course, there's so much to get now. Free upgrades, adrenal glands, ultras calf and character plane. You know, the list goes on. Investing into all those upgrades is expensive as well. So that even more so powers up the fact that SpeCial is also maxed out and very likely ready to push and ready to start attacking. Spire Force pulls back down to the bottom right, bottom side. Bane's going to run by this mineral line. SCVs have to pull away. iAsonu's going to send some Lings through, and then the natural wall is down. So there's Lings in the natural, which is where the SCVs from the third just went. The Bane's over here, still looking to see what they can join in and do. They're not really rolling into those Marines though, which would have been nice. They actually all went down without really achieving much. This attack on this natural mostly kills the 4. I mean, that's a pretty big deal, getting rid of a 4, especially because he's still very reliant on mutas. Yeah, not a bad little attack. We'd just maybe like to see a larger force hitting the 4th base at the same time, because SpeCial really was pulled back in defending. Really had nothing to do there in terms of being aggressive. With mines going off, might as well clean them up though. Again, a Marine force pressing through the rocks in the center. Even more Banes on the bottom right, 26 of them on the way up. 26 Banelings being brought into play, plus 3 melee. Oh my god, 52 Banelings on the way up. iAsonu, that's what the crowd is getting excited about now. He's looking for a huge cleanup on this army of SpeCial. The crowd is ready. There's so many Banes on the top side about to finish, and this is going to be a hell of a flank. The Banes already coming in on the bottom side as well. Here come the Mutalisks. Oh my god, SpeCial is just being destroyed in this fight. The biggest problem for iAsonu, reinforcements aren't ready yet. Ling's only just now on the way. He doesn't have more. He doesn't even have Lings to really morph into Banelings anymore, so it's pretty crazy as we're all going to be seeing. There's a few Marauders and Marines pressing up the ramp. Mutas turning around, getting rid of those couple Marauders. There's some Maidens chasing through. iAsonu is going to be able to chase this down. SpeCial has reinforcements somewhere. He's got the equal army supply to his opponent. Oh, never a wooden mine shot. Didn't quite go as far as I thought it would. All of those wooden mines burrowed off cooldown into the center of the lings, it felt like. Wasn't the greatest of decisions either. Adrenal gland's now done. +3 melee. Was there a +3 carapace? I feel like no. Because iAsonu was a bit strapped for cash, although now he's got 1200 gas in the bank. A lot more Ling Bane on the way again. So even though on Hive, still mostly just on Ling Bane, but with +3 melee it helps. Also Adrenal glands helps too, just again, no carapace. Again, usually you'd say carapace is usually better for the Lings because they take a lot more damage than they deal. So I have to be a bit careful about not having that. Means that SpeCial could get some better trades going for himself. Here's 60 minutes in game. He's starting to strike on that side. He's going to have a counterattack in his third base to deal with. Here come the Banes and Lings to try and clean this up. They're all flooding in from one direction. Those are very limited in terms of counterattack, in terms of like flanking potential. SUDs go down across the map. The Muta's still there, ripping that third base to shreds. As there's a lift and a lead from SpeCial. Picks up the last 2 4s as well. Go up to the main base. That hatchery is actually kind of low. If that's targetable, that might go down actually right there. Those Banes are targetable. And the Mutilus are definitely not around. There's only so many Mutas left. A lot of gas in iAsonu's bank, but not putting it to use as the Mutas are going to kind of just fly in on their own. It's not pretty, and well, now as drones go running down there, there's already Marines and a Marauder waiting. SpeCial is really starting to take this game into his own hands now. More Zerglings running in, they're going to get shut down. More drones getting shot down too. Medevac's loading up a couple more units, bringing them up to the top. 8 more Mutas on the way in. Zergling's going to go hit this 4. He's going to lift up into the Medevac again. Still got 23 drones that just went down. It's really brutal as Woodermine's going to get some more kills. SpeCial is really starting to run away with this game now. There's definitely moments in here for iAsonu, but he's just not being able to capitalize and not being able to stabilize a lot of the time, I think, was one of the problems. The run-bys were good, but again, just was lacking a little something in some of these fights. As you're going to see, Ling's attempting to run forwards, but there's no Banelings to back them up, so Ling Muta does not trade well at all against Marines. And that's going to be GG for my... So here we go, game number 3. Let's get some game sounds going. Ooh, crowd's a bit loud. So we do have SpeCial here in the top left-hand side of King's Cove. Up against iAsonu in the bottom right, and it is again now one of the larger maps. So SpeCial 2 racks against Scarlet on this map is not going to utilize this here apparently. Not going to choose the 2 racks just yet. We have a lot of spamming of Doritos to help Juanito in the chat. Keep them coming in, guys. You spam all the Doritos you want to spam. As we get this set to start, or set to continue on. So hatchery drops down on the natural. Man, these Chinese casters are really making the crowd giggle a bit, aren't they? So there's a hatchery first. That's already interesting for iAsonu because it means, of course, less opportunities to be aggressive. We've seen the Reaper on the way up from SpeCial then, so getting that going. I think we're going to be finishing in a few moments' time. There's going to be a Marine on the way out as a follow-up. So again, pretty safe from SpeCial. Racks then the gas early. Allows him to get that Marine up instead of going straight into the reactor. It's just a little bit of a different way of opening up. I mean, it's a very slight difference. You can have some definite impacts, but in a game of hatch gas pool, it really is a very minor difference because there's no Lings on the map that you need that Marine for, etc. Not much that Marine's really going to show up and do. Remember guys, Innovation versus Scarlet in the 3rd place match. Coming up after this series. So that's coming up after this best of 5. Should be pretty sick. Should be really sick actually. So definitely looking forward to that. As this Reaper's going to come around and again have a little look to see just what's going on. Factory lifts up and looks like it's going to move over to the reactor in the next moment or two. Swing speed still coming in. A few more drones popping out too. Very slow start to the game. Not much to really say just yet. Still seeing lots of Doritos in the chat. Wall Puppy, Diaruga, spamming for Juanito, Hollow 1001, Carlulu. What's the support for SpeCial here today? Are there any VODs of previous games in this tournament? Not on my channel, because I didn't cast any, but there's a couple other streams that did them. My best advice is to check out the Wikipedia page and find the other streams, and check out the VODs from there. And that's the best advice I can give you if you want VODs at the moment. The Hellions are obviously applying some pressure there. We're going to go look at the main base instead of watching the Hellions get cornered and die. Now we're back to the Hellions. Actually, the Hellions are doing a pretty good job cutting around. I feel like iAsonu could have done a better job trying to cut those off as the Reaper hops into the main. Tries to make an escape, but the Queen in the main will shut that down. So Raven early on here from SpeCial, that is a bit different. Obviously a Raven means you can spend a lot of time cleaning up creep without needing scans. There's a second Raven, wow. That's really not quite what you usually see in this TvZ. That's really not quite what we usually see. Alright, second Raven coming up. So we're going to be seeing the couple of extra queens finishing too, and the Bane Nest drops. It was the lair before the Bane Nest this time. Let's see if we're going to see another Spire. We've seen just basically Spires all day long so far. Or Turret will start a deal some damage and Overlord or two nearby, mostly just forcing the drones to pull away is nice, and there isn't any units to defend that just yet apparently. Meanwhile, these Hellions are going to join up for an attack through into the natural. Queens are here, but only Queens. There's some Zerglings as well, eventually showing up. A few more Lings taking actually quite a lot of damage on the Lings, right? Like a lot of Lings going down. Hellions are very tradable in this scenario as well because, yes, you guessed it, it is going to be mech. In the end, these Hellions are going to make it through to this base. That's actually incredible how long these Hellions have lasted here. And they will not do too much in the end. A lot of drones on half health or so, man. A couple more full Hellion shots there would have been amazing as this auto turret drops down. But Lings and a Queen lie in wait. So that's an immediate shutdown on that auto turret. Again, a bit different from SpeCial here. With the way he's setting up. A little bit different indeed. Really, I mean, there was a while where the auto turret harass was the way to open in ZVT, but it's really been a while since that's been the case. But again, SpeCial is kind of making it work here. The worker damage he's dealt, he's put himself pretty much even on workers. Started before, I don't think he's got scouting on. Well, there is no Spire, so the 4 is interesting. I think he's afraid of Mutalisks, perhaps, that he hasn't seen, because he's also not seen a Roach Roaring, so he doesn't know quite what to expect. And someone like iAsonu could definitely hide a Spire to the side of the map and, you know, proxy it like that. So I think that's what he's assuming here. He thinks, you know, I'd rather make 4s than, you know, because if there's no, you know, who's going to hide a Roach Roaring? Pretty much no one, but who hides a Spire? Well, it's definitely been done before, so I think SpeCial's just playing a cautious game, and I don't mind that choice to go into 4s here initially. I think it's actually going to work out just fine. Another auto turret. I mean, these attacks continue. It's just a little chipping away of this army from iAsonu. Just every now and then, you know, drones have to pull away, and if a drone goes down, it's just that consistency of the Raven auto turrets that make the harassment so annoying, right? And it's very difficult to clean up unless there is a Spire in play, and Realists chase those Ravens down, because how are you ever going to kill them otherwise? So, yeah, it's just that consistent harassment throughout the game, and that's what makes the Raven harass so good. It's not, you know, drop down, kill 10 drones, amazing, like a medevac drop. Not at all. Obviously, it's keeping iAsonu a bit focused at home as well, which gives SpeCial a lot of build-up time.
That's interesting. The 4-drop. I guess this kind of really is just the full-on old-school mech build, right? The double Raven into a 4-drop. We don't really see this at all now, but this is kind of how I used to follow up, so I guess never mind those 4s being about a secret spy or anything I was trying to come up with in terms of conspiracy. And those 4s are just straight up the setup right now so you can get some damage done. They didn't bring them across the map with these Hellions, so it misses out on a bit of an opportunity now. We haven't seen a 4-drop in a very long time. It's a very uncommon way to set up in the mech play nowadays. Very, very uncommon. Much, I guess we see a lot of Hellion Cyclone openers, right? This is going to be more traditional mech, just Hellions and tanks. That 4-drop to try and, apply pressure. You see Swarmhost coming out here. SpeCial obviously will know I've had a good day against Swarmhost so far. Against Scarlet, the Swarmhost actually did pick him apart in the end, so he's hoping to do something a little bit better against them now, as he will not quite find that Overlord. Might have gotten that Queen though. Scanning the center of the map, and creep tumors will go down. Force trying to get a little bit closer in, and actually we'll be able to fight the roaches here a little bit. Oh, he's going to lose a medevac though. Not the one with the 4 inside. Now, of course, can only save one of those. The Raven got repaired and is going to come back in. That's a drone and a Queen. And that's very effective. This medevac trying to give that high ground vision. Both the Queens go down, so now the 4s can micro a lot more easily. And drones are being picked off in the corner. So again, the drop continuation here from SpeCial is doing a lot. Good dodge away. That medevac pickup, good. If only the one pickup. Well, here we go. Swarmhost now across the map. Going to go and swap Locust into the natural. So iAsonu with an attempt here, and he will get in. There's nothing there to defend right away. SpeCial with a very quick reaction. Pulls SCVs immediately. And of course that orbital can lift up as well if needed. It looks as though the first 4 ended up going down over there now. Oh my god! SpeCial didn't lift up his natural orbital. Oh no. Well, he's just about to finish the 4th base. He's actually just going to rebuild the natural in location. Wow, that's a huge mistake from him not lifting the orbital. Huge mistake. That's not meant to happen, especially when, he could have just lifted the orbital when he went the SCVs away. Swarmhosts are making the difference at the moment here, but that was more a mistake from SpeCial than anything else, I feel. I'm going to see Locust popping up on the right side. Swarmhost was really strong here because of the Nidus just getting them to different sides of the map so quickly and so easily. Locust going to go targeting down some supply depots, especially heavily supply blocked because of this. It's a huge supply block at the moment, actually. As we do see more Nidus is now one in the main. Coming through as well. This 4 is still over here. Honestly, the opening of this game was amazing for SpeCial. It's obviously all started to go wrong recently. If those Swarms go aggressively across the map again, though, I don't know how I feel about it, because it feels like SpeCial right now is obviously pushing. Finds a few Ravagers morphing in. This is actually huge. That's 7 Ravagers cancelled. Suddenly iAsonu has a bunch of gas he's not spent. He'll start up the Ravagers elsewhere. He's lost 13 drones. The Swarm hosts on cooldown because they're going to drop into their space. Well, that should just be a cancel on the orbital morphing in and a lift up there. As this forward base, he's going to lose the 4th base. Oh, the drones are chased too. Obviously, he's just lost a ton of drones already. So yeah, this time, SpeCial doesn't lose too much more to that counter of Swarm hosts. I don't know if iAsonu has a way to clean this up. Even if the Locusts come into this, there are so much to help, but there's the flank. So that's definitely the way you're going to do this if it is going to happen. Liberators are spreading up, trying to siege up too, but all the tanks are already down. SpeCial has dove in a bit too far. What a cleanup by iAsonu. Wow, SpeCial lost so much there in the army. Now iAsonu can go across the map and attack, and obviously this is a good counter-attack possibility. But he does need something, because obviously we do have a very, very low drone count for iAsonu with the damage the SpeCial just dealt. So iAsonu is continuing to make units. Locusts are coming towards the natural once again. There they go, dropping down. SpeCial's been so preoccupied elsewhere, he's not been able to get that orbital set up properly. So it has to just lift up one more time. Will be repairable though, it is saved by the lift up. Finally those Hellbats across the map get dealt with. Oh my god, that Nidus finished on like 2 hit points. Oh my god, now Roaches and Ravagers in the main. There is Cyclones here. Do they even have Macfield though? They do not. No upgrade animation on them. However, these Roaches are a little bit stuck in the corner anyways. They're not going anywheres. Upgrade sieging up. There is 3 Ravagers, but it looks like they will not be able to find the corrosive balance on top of the libs. And these Roaches and Ravagers fighting in the corner. SpeCial on 4 bases then. He's having his 4th base attacked at the moment. Another wave of Locusts now onto the natural. Still hasn't morphed in an orbital on that natural because he's just been under so much pressure. He's been so busy elsewhere. So now having to deal with the Locusts. However,
The supplies get a lot closer here, because while Special has lost a lot of workers, he killed off a lot of army in doing so, and obviously iAsonu has not been mining too much for a while either. And I was going to see Special trying to move down that ramp. Roaches, Ravages, and Locusts going to be the defense for the moment. This is indeed a best of 5 third place match, guys. The finals is the only best of 7 here today. Locust going to pop up again, moving up to the top. Anti-Armor are going to strike through to those Locusts. Corrosive Bars once again, going to hit a bunch of Liberators. Lib's going down pretty quickly there. Roaches and Ravages pressing forwards. The Lib's going to turn around and see what they can siege up on. The Swarm Hose going to be pushed away. Mobiles, let's say dead Liberator, the other one just about surviving. Specials again in a little bit of trouble when it comes to supply. It's one of those situations now where going into more units becomes tough for him, because he did lose a lot of his workers and he just needs a moment or two to breathe, but obviously it's not being given to him, and now he has to hold off another wave of Locusts. He did just kill a few Roaches and Ravages. It's these Locusts that are the scariest part. There's not really any Hellions here to really help out too easily. Oh my god, great micro from Special, saving some units for as long as possible, but in the end, iAsonu is just pushing through, and at the moment iAsonu looks like he might have enough. One of the tanks is down, there's one tank left, there's no tanks in production. One tank saved by the medevac, brought to the low ground on literally its last little bit of health points. Some Locusts that are already off cooldown are going to go into that third orbital mineral line, and that's going to be even more SCVs killed off here. Special is absolutely, just truly falling apart in this game. It looks as though we're going to be getting iAsonu to take this into the lead here after game number 3. And these SCVs are in so much trouble. The orbital's going to be forced to lift up once again. Special's army supply really is down in the gutter. 30 army left against the 85. iAsonu is going to take this up into a 2-1 advantage. Can you believe that? This is absolutely crazy here at the moment as another 16 SCVs do fall. And these Hellions come running down, going to start hitting those drones. It's a nice little run by attempt from Special, but again, is it enough to save him? He is mining off of only 2 bases at the moment. I don't really think it's enough. Locust going to come in to try and secure that fact. If he just had some high ground vision, okay, he's going to send the Locust up to that tank. There's the Special. The bottom left hand side, our blue Zerg is iAsonu. He's on match point in the 3rd place match. In the top right, our red Terran that spams some Doritos. It is Special. From Mexico. Usually residing in Korea, of course, but in China for this event. Rox drops down at the front to get us started here. And we are just going to be seeing the hatchery first again. So it is Turbo Cruise. It is one of the weirder maps of the map pool. That's those inhibitor zones which slow down unit movement, which makes attacking straight through the center of the map very ineffective usually, because your opponent can just sit on the other side of the slow zones and be like, nope, and just kind of stop that from happening. So it does create a lot of action around the left and the right side of the map, and that's a lot of action which then goes a long way towards making this map a lot more interesting than you might initially find the map, I would say. So that's pretty cool. Got Choco97 in the chat cheering on iAsonu. On the other side, Podemodesliritsia, sorry I murdered your name, says, I want to believe in the Dorito. UNC Griffin with the Doritos as well. Mega Man X32. I love oof. Lots of love for Special. He is down in this series, looking to try and bring this to an ace match at game number 5. I would be on Thunderbird for game number 5, actually. Nice large map. I think if Special gets that, he's got to feel pretty good about it. Just going to be seeing SpeCial is with the Reaper going to be trying to see what will happen. A few Lings going to go chasing this around for this drone, take some damage. Third hatchery on the way up as well. Also good information for SpeCial, tells him it's not any kind of super crazy 2-base already from iAsonu, which we have seen before today. iAsonu has had some very early game aggressive builds as well, and they have been very successful against both SpeCial and against Innovation earlier on. Kind of surprised we haven't seen a bit more of that after it was so successful. Am I streaming from a can? No, I'm doing a hotel stream though, so it's a little bit, sounds a little bit different to usual. Apologies. Reaper sets off over to the left-hand side. Overlord moving around a little bit as well. And speed also continuing on through. Two more Hellions going to be finishing up shortly as well, and that Liberator also just getting started now. Not really much to see with this scout though. I mean, iAsonu's playing pretty regular, just making Lings. What a save on the Reaper. Good grenade. Blast that Queen back, and that actually does save the Reaper, because that was the Queen that still would have been in range. Stim pack starting up. Liberator about to complete. Another command center building as iAsonu is going to see the Liberator moving out. I mean, that's really nice as well, getting to see this moving forwards already. So already getting to see this coming across the map. It's just information about what you're going to have to deal with here, what you're going to have to try and defend. And here we go, Hellions and the Reaper around the left-hand side. Zerglings running forwards. A few of those Lings already getting roasted a little bit here. So the drone's going to go down, and you can see SpeCial's really just trying to get rid of these Lings. Trying to open up further attacks. He knows he's not going to kill the Queens, but he's also not diving for the drones, which probably could have gotten some kills on, more than he did. 3 workers here in the end. That Reaper is going to try and actually will succeed in sneaking away. Already going into bio, so it's not going to be more Hellions. They are not going to be replaceable. And it's just going to be bio to continue through now then. So Liberator heads up to the top side lair, on its way out of this base as well. Two more engineering bays about to finish up. Gonna see Evo Chambers dropping down also. And iAsonu will go for that base to the right side. This is the more commonly taken 4th base. Players just seem to enjoy expanding here, and feels like it basically, if the Terran expands across for their 3rd and you take your 4th base on the left, then you're in a lot of trouble to rally pushes. So expanding down this bottom side, it means the 3rd of the Terran is further away from your 4th essentially. Obviously it depends where the Terran expands, because if the Terran expands on the pocket, then of course you kind of can go to the left side, but even then I think this bottom side works just as well in both situations, which is why you just throw that down there as the Zerg player. The Marines running through the inhibitor zone, giving us a good example of how things do get slowed down through there. Melee upgrades coming through, Baneling speed also. You have Marines splitting up all over the place. Kind of an interesting push forward. Just wants to clean out some creep already. And will be successful in getting rid of the first few creep tumors. Actually, that's not bad at all. Now the Medivacs join up, so the Marines were just a bit ahead of the Medivacs. Just slightly. A couple of Dropper Lords coming through. Oh, interesting position for them though, because these Marines running forwards here might actually just be able to see the Dropper Lords. Yeah, and he's going to kill them. Oh, weird place to morph the Dropper Lords, and he's going to get one of them, but obviously just the idea that they've been seeing. Now Innovation's very aware that he's got to be ready against something like that, right? So that information for Innovation is huge. Man, just again, weird place to morph them in. I guess a bit unlucky as well that Innovation is, not Innovation, iAsonu is in that position. SpeCial gonna catch. I've got Innovation on the mind. Sorry guys, I'm tired. Not gonna lie. I know. SpeCial obviously catching those and making that happen. I'm just excited to cast Innovation Skull. I'm just thinking about it already. I'm thinking back to Innovation versus iAsonu. We didn't get to see this map between them, but it would have been interesting to kind of see how that went. That's a nice catch from SpeCial as well. Finds Banes on the right. Feels like just everything SpeCial does right now is just catching iAsonu off guard. Like super off guard is SpeCial pushing forwards down to the bottom left hand side. The Bane also getting picked off here. iAsonu is just on 1-1 upgrades and massing units at the moment, and SCVs pull away from that drop load, so nicely played by SpeCial. Moving units out of the way of that, but obviously losing mind time still. iAsonu does jump on that first little clump of army and does pretty well against it. That tank position is so annoying though, it's so difficult to deal with that spot. And that's where iAsonu will have to attack into if he wants to break through SpeCial, but again, he's just spamming more and more lings. There's no 2-2 inside for iAsonu, so he's very all-in, but very all-in with not enough army to really make this work, and it really does feel like this is most likely going to go to a Game 5 of this. This drop in the main has been trying to come through so many times, but SpeCial has consistently just been unable to do much with it. In the end, the Banes do drop in and still get 7 SCVs. iAsonu. I wouldn't be so worried for him if he had upgrades and stuff on the way, but when SpeCial hits 2-2, that's all of a sudden just going to mean even worse fights here for iAsonu, as he is going to jump on this now. I mean, if he gets on top of the tanks, it's probably the best trade he's going to find against the tanks, although still losing banelings, because the tanks are still firing even though they're surrounded. I think to see that iAsonu has lost too much. And again, now 2-2 kicks in, right, and Innovation just has... SpeCial just has the numbers to push through and win. You know what? Clearly, I'm just a big fan of Innovation. Sorry, SpeCial. I'm just too excited for the finals. When he's pressing through, Queen's going down. He actually left one of the Queens alive on like 1 hit from death. Tank gonna see jump Queens backing away a little bit. Marines continue to pick their way through some more of these Queens. There's a little bit more damage being done still. Lings pressing forwards, they get taken down pretty quickly. Other Marines pressing through too, gonna get themselves them Lings also. More Marines still just coming through the center of the map, and you're not gonna be seeing a few Banes, gonna be chased away off over to the left hand side. Gonna see a couple more Lings getting picked away at here. SpeCial is really just positioning himself consistently on his opponent's side of the map. Probably could have target fired those Banes if he was paying attention, but splitting away anyways. Now he lifts up into the main, and obviously you've just seen it in the supply. SpeCial running away with this. He's just continuing to trade so well. The Banes show up, he lifts up, he goes to the low ground. The 4th base, 5th base, whatever that is now. Well, it was the 4th base originally. There's another base on the top left, that's the 5th. Those bases are continuing to be shut down as well, and obviously, eventually, SpeCial just keeps attacking through, and iAsonu will have to tap out. Then we go to Game 5 on Thunderbird. Again, a nice large map. I'm intrigued to what actually happens on Thunderbird. What do you do there? As iAsonu, he lost on Thunderbird to Innovation through kind of a similar style to what SpeCial's just doing now, just through constant bio attacks. So if that's the case, what do you do as iAsonu to try and end that Thunderbird decided match here? So the top left Blue Zerg player is iAsonu. Oh, crowd is loud. And the bottom right hand side, our red team player. This is SpeCial, looking to try and take down this 3rd place match. With the proxy racks opening. So he did proxy racks against Scarlet. I think he's going to go for his GSL build, right? Proxy 3 racks to the right hand side of the minerals here. And then it means you can mine out the minerals and come in from the right hand side very easily. Very difficult to scout, unless you purposefully go over in that direction. So SpeCial looking to end this game number 5 quickly. Remember, we do have a game number 5 in we do have it after this game number 5, sorry. The series between Scarlet and Innovation still to come. So 3 racks dropping in on the top.
Again, iAsonu doesn't know about it yet, as the hatch, gas, and pool is the opening choices. Crowd's getting crazy. Again, iAsonu doesn't see it, so there's that first SCV going to mine out these minerals. Opens up the pathway. This Overlord's going to turn back around. So he's going to keep that Overlord very safe. So he's going to be aware of bunkers, etc. coming up and Marines pressing through from this direction. So that's really good for iAsonu, because now he sees this coming and he can respond immediately to the bunkers coming down. What is his response going to be? Bunker number 1? What does SpeCial do as well? Why does he keep that Marine? Does he go after that Overlord? It's not a bad target, but of course you don't want to go chasing it down too long, because you need to be able to protect these SCVs building the bunker as well. Only one bunker, by the way. Rotoron immediately built here by iAsonu. And he's not even considering any other option, as we see 2 Lings do get out onto the map. So iAsonu is going to sacrifice this this natural hatchery. That's very typical if you're going to go for the Rotoron here. There's a couple more Lings get out. SpeCial a little bit slow to jump on those, so they will get across the map. Again, just the 2 Lings across the map will be annoying just to force a repair back at home, of course. Second bunker going to be finishing soon, obviously trying to buy some time against those roaches that will be coming across shortly. Drones are going to pull down. He's going to try and save the hatchery. I don't agree with saving the hatchery, guys. I mean, trying to save the hatchery is a really costly choice here, because he's going to lose some drones. So he actually doesn't lose any drones, but he's going to lose the Lings. And obviously, I mean, you're building roaches, so is this going to work out? It feels like a lot of Lings going down. SCVs are going to get onto this bunker. Wow, is this actually a save from iAsonu? That's so sick if he saves this. Wow. It's still kind of close, right? That roach is going to go down. A couple Lings come back. Wow. What a defense by iAsonu. That's actually sick, guys. I can't stress that enough. Because a lot of the times when against free racks and you go roaches, you give up the natural hatchery. Like, that's the whole idea. Not in iAsonu. He saves it with the drone bull. I thought he was going to lose more drones. But he didn't lose any drones, actually. I think he lost 1 at most. So it was only Lings that went down. Wow, that was actually really, really sick. And now iAsonu. But now you could maybe counterattack. Because it's free racks, there's no super fast gases. SpeCial doesn't have a factory ready, so you won't have a starport and the potential to go into a Banshee. This actually was really... Yeah, Euthermal in the chat says it too. What on earth was that and how did it work? That's what I mean, right? Like, that drone pull just doesn't feel like it should work. It just doesn't feel like it's the way, like... I don't know. Like, he just had roaches and... I have no idea. That was crazy. Like, I feel like if you do that, you lose like 10 drones, and then SpeCial's like, okay, well, I didn't get the hatch, but you lost more than the hatcheries were for drones, right? But no, he didn't kill any drones. It's actually insane. As we do see, this rack's going to lift up, pull away. Well, third CC going to start from SpeCial. The big thing for him is he can just bunker up on top of that ramp and defend the natural and the third at the same time. SpeCial just sits at home. Not many Marines. Again, he has no production as those barracks float home. Only the 7 Marines that he built up and sent home from the top side of the map. There's iAsonu just going up into a lair. I wonder if he's going to plan something like a Nidus to try and kill SpeCial off. The barracks are finally going to make it back home. Nice large map. Takes forever to get back home, of course. It's a very long time. What is going to happen with this lair? I mean, it still feels very late. If you want a Nidus, like, it still feels like defenses are late for SpeCial, but he goes straight into a siege tank because I think he knows the threat of what is coming. But there's more and more drones from iAsonu too, so it doesn't feel like he's just going to spam units. There's a Ling speed. Oh, so he's just going to throw down a tech structure. What does he build? Maybe because you know what the sickest mind game would be. I mean, he doesn't have the gas for it, but like a Spire, because obviously if like he reads into the fact that SpeCial will build like Banshee tank to defend roaches, then a Spire obviously becomes an amazing unit, amazing structure to have. You know, muters against Banshees and tanks would be great, but again, not enough gas for anything off of the lair, really, so maybe just roach speed in the near future and kind of go from there. Stem starts up. In the end, actually, SpeCial only built up 1 tank and didn't even go into Banshees either, so he kind of skipped his the safety net against roaches, but maybe he just feels like that time has passed a little bit as well.
Bailing Nest drops down. And we are just going to be seeing a 2 engineering base from SpeCial back at home, so setting up for that. See, in this situation when there's only 1 tank, I feel like a Nidus would just kind of kill SpeCial, right? But iAsonu just continues to drone up heavily at the moment. So lots of drones on the way in. Again, 1-on-1 melee upgrades coming through as well. That Bailing Nest about to complete. Double bunker works quite nicely here too. Now we're just going to be seeing a few more SCVs still coming out. Marine's going to load up into these medevacs. Now SpeCial has quite a bit of army supply over iAsonu, and obviously iAsonu is just been kind of building Ling Roach, so it's not an amazing army. It starts up at bailing speed now. Man, I don't know what these Chinese casters are telling this crowd, but they've just been laughing for this entire series. I don't know, like I don't actually know what they could be saying to get them to laugh through the entire series, literally. Yeah. Well, 1-on-1 upgrade is going to be continuing through on that engineering base. It's really hard to concentrate when the crowd laughing is so loud. They're laughing like every few moments. I'm sorry guys, I'm just not funny enough to deal with this. I'm not used to people laughing during my streams. Usually I'm just too dead serious. I'm seeing myself moving the mouse, so we bring up the things that block the screen. Sorry for that. But, yeah, just a few Marines here, cleaning up creep as the Lings and Ravages running together. Obviously, it's a little bit overwhelming, and SpeCial can't do much about it. Gotta say, SpeCial's work account is up there, and, I mean, it was kind of just the speed of the 3rd CC, I imagine, and a lair coming down that then wasn't really used for anything. It's iAsonu just invested into some things that didn't really do anything for him. And he didn't really put any pressure on with those things he invested into. And because of that, SpeCial's gotten away from the 3rd CC, and he's put himself into a pretty good setup. Oh, a nice little catch there as one of the Ravagers goes down. Good pickup from SpeCial too. Oh, the single Marine drop down. Gets himself that Ravager that was low health as well. Very nicely done. SpeCial's really good with these drops so far. As we are going to be seeing 16 more Banes coming through. Combat shields have started as well. No surprises on that one. Still just interesting. I mean, iAsonu has now gone up to 71 drones. Ling Bane off creep. Tanks in the background. SpeCial didn't want to siege up just yet. Wanted to try and stay mobile. No more Lings in towards that 4th base. SpeCial is pushing though. I mean, this is a dangerous push, right? With a few tanks in play, etc. He's going to find some of these Banes morphing in. Just needs to make sure he doesn't walk into them like we saw earlier today. Left the tanks quite far back actually, so SpeCial's not rushing into anything until at least combat shields is done. $12 more Banes morphing in. Combat shields again about to be completing. Adrenaline claws on the way, so switching in towards Widow Mines, which makes sense against the Ling Bane composition. Widow Mines do a lot better as the game goes on. Tanks do pretty well in these sort of numbers now, but just eventually they just get overrun with Ling Bane. So Widow Mines is just a lot more mobile too, and you don't have to set up the sieges so far in advance, etc. Counter-attack from iAsonu, who's going to show up, and SpeCial is really not ready for this at all. That tank is in trouble. It's going to go down with not even a shot set off. Well, now SpeCial has to make a decision. It looks like he's going to go home, but units in the middle of the map going to get caught. I mean, those tanks are still set up there on the low ground, and that means iAsonu probably can't send as much over there as he'd like to. He has Lings just ravaging mineralized though, but he is losing a lot of drones at the same time. The Liberator did a lot of damage. If he'd pulled those drones away, this would have been obviously amazing for iAsonu. It still is a better damage for iAsonu than it is for SpeCial. Oh my god, those Marines are super low! I don't know why the Banelings pulled back for a moment there, but they got a good chunk already. And SpeCial might be in some trouble, because now the tanks have been left alone. And again, those Marines are such low HP, I just don't know what they can do. The Lings are going to get rid of them so quickly. It's pure Marine at the moment. There's no splash damage involved, so it's just a contest of can SpeCial split well enough? The answer is not really. Banelings rolling into the Marines on the top side. SpeCial will reinforce down the ramp and will hold on and push this back. Still Lings, by the way, just around the place, and they're just going to get refineries, a couple more SCV kills, and that's obviously a massive pain. Just a couple of extra units that go down that really shouldn't ever go down here. I mean, it's just when you're not in a good position, losing a couple more workers really hurts. Medevac's going to load up units and head up to the top side.
And still this medevac army from SpeCial. It's going to get seen right away, and he sees the army coming in towards his natural. Obviously, no wall-off here. Without a wall-off, this is going to be painful. So here we go. Ling's running up. I mean, straight on top of the siege tank as well. Oh my god, SpeCial didn't unload his medevacs. So he doesn't even have all the units here that he could have done. That's GG. iAsonu